Hey there, this is Dr. Jason Shumard with Integrative Wellness Center of San Diego. And today we're going to be talking about the thyroid. And one of the most common causes and reasons for someone to be experiencing a thyroid condition, specifically to hypothyroidism. And that condition is called Hashimoto's. For those of you who have never heard of this is the first time you've ever heard of Hashimoto's and you're dealing with a thyroid condition, meaning you've been diagnosed with a thyroid condition and your doctor says, yes, you have hypothyroidism. Hashimoto's is what is an autoimmune disease. It's where the immune system starts attacking and destroying and killing your thyroid. Now, what's interesting is that if you've never heard of this before, most autoimmune conditions are going to be things like that you maybe have heard of rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, celiac disease, lupus, those sort of things. You've probably heard of those types of autoimmune diseases sometime in your life. Well, Hashimoto's is no different. The only difference is those tissues may be your pancreas or your nervous system or your joints. This is specific to your thyroid. Now, the statistics tell us roughly about 90% to 95% of all thyroid cases is actually this underlying autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's. So your immune system is not supposed to attack your body. It's not supposed to attack your thyroid. So something has gone wrong inside your body if this is happening. And for most of you who are watching this, it's probably your underlying mechanism. And nobody is trying to understand what is causing the immune system or what is driving, or I like to use the word triggering, the immune system to attack the body. Autoimmune diseases can be very serious. They're very inflammatory, they can be very problematic, and they can lead to additional underlying autoimmune conditions. So you could have a diagnosis of, say, rheumatoid arthritis, and then next thing you know, you develop Hashimoto's. Or you could have Hashimoto's, and then next thing you know, you develop lupus. And traditionally, when you go to like one of your doctors, they're going to tell you, oh, you have this new diagnosis, this new problem. And unfortunately, it's not a new problem. It's the same issue. It's the immune system that's been left unchecked, untreated, and it's continually getting worse and worse and worse. And you continue to feel terrible over time, while your doctors tend to want to just give you more and more medications to address the symptoms. So how do we diagnose this? Well, let's back up real quickly. And why is this not being evaluated? Most of the time when you go and see your doctor, what they're going to do when you have specific symptoms, and those symptoms could be, maybe you've got some fatigue, maybe you've got weight gain, hair loss, maybe you're starting to get some GI issues, or what have you, right? You're just starting to have a lot of symptoms that are associated with thyroid condition. What's going to happen is they're going to run a blood test on you, and that blood test is going to look for TSH. Now, TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. So if TSH goes up, that means you have a low thyroid. If TSH goes down, that means you have high thyroid or hyper. So we have hypo, which is going to be an increased TSH, and we have hyper if we have a decreased TSH. And that's essentially what happens on diagnosis. So when you're diagnosed with one of these conditions, you're going to get a correlating medication with it. If you have a low thyroid, it's going to be a thyroid hormone that's going to help your hormones be boosted, give you higher hormones to help you stabilize the TSH. If it's suppressed thyroid TSH, they're going to give you a different medication. So essentially the goal is to balance the TSH, not try to understand why is the TSH low or why is it high. So we're only giving a medication to replace the hormones and to address the elevation or decrease of the TSH. So what we really have to understand is, well, what's going on? What's really happening? Why is this TSH going up or down? What's happening inside the body? And in many cases, as I mentioned before, it's due to an underlying autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's. So can you test for that? Yes, you can absolutely test for that. And for some of you are like thinking, I already know about this. I already know what test that need to be ran, but I think there's some of you who don't. So if you want to test for Hashimoto's, there's 2 tests that can be run. They're blood tests. One is called TPO, and one is called thyroglobulin. AB stands for antibody. Okay, so TPO or thyroglobulin antibody. These are 2 different types of antibodies, and if one or both come back elevated, it is a positive test. So one or both would be a positive test for Hashimoto's. That means that if you have one of these, if these are increased and you have an underlying mechanism of autoimmune disease, you do not have a thyroid problem. Please listen to what I'm saying. You do not have a thyroid problem. Your underlying issue is your immune system attacking the thyroid. It makes no sense for someone to say that if somebody punches somebody in the face, that person's face was the problem, right? It makes no sense whatsoever. So why does it make sense to say if your immune system's attacking your thyroid, that the thyroid's the issue? It's not the issue, it's the immune system. But unfortunately, there's just not a lot of options that can be done in the traditional medical model, except for maybe some steroids or immune suppressors. Now, another common thing that I see in regards to Hashimoto's, and I see a lot of patients who have Hashimoto's, they already know they have it, but they're just not getting the help that they want. And they think that by analyzing these antibodies on a regular basis is a good way to determine if their autoimmune is getting better or not. And please do not make that mistake. It is not true. Because here's the thing. Because we are constantly being bombarded with so many things in our environment, things that we eat, the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, we have all these things that are going on that our immune system is constantly being triggered by little things. So what could happen is, let's just say you go downtown and you're walking around and a big bus drives by and a big fume of smoke comes out. Well, you think there's some toxins in there? Of course there's toxins in there. If you ingest that, next thing you know, you get all your immune system going all wacky. And then what if a day or 2 days later, you go get a blood test run and your antibodies are evaluated and they're like way skyrocketed. And now you're thinking, I don't understand, what did I do wrong? It's nothing you did wrong, you just got activated because you had an exposure from an environmental toxin. And vice versa, if you're doing all these proper things, but you go in and get to these evaluate and it's down, potentially it just could be an incident in time, but the next day it's stimulated again. So the reality is we don't want to focus on the antibodies of showing things that are improving. We want to focus on what is triggering the immune system to attack the body, and that's how you can start to arrest or slow down the attacks or even potentially stop the attacks. And there's a whole slew of potential triggers that could be going on in regards to Hashimoto's and all other autoimmune diseases as well. I don't have enough time to go through all of those today, but what I really wanted to focus on is that I really see quite often where individuals are focused on their antibodies and they're telling me, well, my doctor says I'm getting better because my antibodies are coming down. Well, that may or may not be the truth. Or if they're going up, that you're getting worse. That may or may not be the truth either. Now, what we can focus on is if we focus on those triggers and what's triggering and it causes the immune system to attack the thyroid, that's where you see tremendous changes, not only in regards to how you feel, but how your body is functioning and how the physiology is. The overall goal is always to get your body to an optimal function, to get your body back to the place that it's able to heal on its own. We have this amazing ability to heal. But the problem is, for most of us who are sick, we just are not living in a conducive environment for healing to take place. So we have to figure out how to get you back there. And just because you have autoimmune does not mean you're a lost cause. It just means you need a little bit more love and special treatment to address these underlying problems. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit more education on autoimmune, on Hashimoto's specifically, and my main purpose is to make sure you're not focusing completely on the antibodies. The reality is you should really only need to get your antibodies analyzed one time when you get your analysis, your diagnosis, and really need to never look at them again. So And hopefully that today's video was able to bring you some amazing value, some good content. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. Specifically, if you have any questions as well, I'm more than happy to answer those, and I will answer those personally. And if there's any specific topic that I haven't gone over with or that you're interested in me talking more about, please put that below and I'll make sure I create a video for you and give you a little more content and value from there as well. Like our page, share this information. It really helps us out, as well as I guarantee someone in your sphere of influence will be helped out as well, because there's probably someone who is suffering, someone who's looking for help and they don't know where to go, and you sharing this video may be their ticket or their key to getting back on track and getting healthy again. And lastly, I will say one more little plug. We do have a YouTube page, so if you want to go and check out our YouTube page, you can see all of my videos that I've posted over the years and patient testimonials. You can go to our my page, which is Jason Shumard DC. That's SHUMARD DC, so Jason Shumard DC, or you can look up Integrative Wellness Center of San Diego. Either one, you can find that information. And again, if there's something that I can do for you, or if you are interested in meeting with me one-on-one virtually for yourself, a family member, colleague, a loved one, I'm more than happy to set up a virtual consultation to see if we can help you like we've helped so many other people in our office over the years. I'll post our contact information. If you want to reach out, you can get yourself scheduled for a one-on-one consultation with me and to see if you potentially can be our next success story that we've had so many over the years. Hope that this was worth your while today. Have a great rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.